Right now, we're rediscovering some of the incredible hidden gems of Arizona, including one of the state's most scenic drives. Plus, we're taking you on a wild ride through Williams on a coaster that puts you in total control. And we're getting a rare look at what it takes to protect Arizona's bald eagle population. Thank you so much for joining us on this special edition of 12 News. I'm Crystal Long. For the next 30 minutes, we're on a journey to rediscover the amazing gems scattered across Arizona. And first up, we're heading to a spot that stays 56 degrees year-round, and it's only open to the public during summer. I'm taking you underground at the Hermosa Inn. Down these stone stairs is a secret hideaway rich in Arizona history. What once was a hidden tunnel to rowdy cowboy partying during the Prohibition is now the valley's only underground wine cellar and restaurant. It's still very much, if you know, you know.
We're sitting in Lon's wine cellar. It's a subterranean wine cellar down below the Lon's restaurant. Our wine cellar consists of over 6,000 bottles of wine.
Tell us about the history of this hidden gem.
Yeah, so once the home to famous cowboy artist Lon McGargy, this property was built in the 1930s. So when you walk the halls of the Hermosa Inn, I mean, you see so many different art pieces that Lon did. None more iconic than the famous last drop from his Stetson painting that the Stetson Cowboy Hat Company commissioned Lon McGargy just over 100 years ago for the painting, and it's in every Stetson cowboy hat still to this day. He was known for being quite the party animal. 7 wives over his lifespan, and loved to play poker and gamble. And when we dug this up in the early 2000s, we found tunnels where Lon McGargy and political officials or important people, friends of his, back in that time would be gambling and drinking down here during Prohibition. And we actually found tunnels that would lead out past the other side of the property to get away if the sheriff ever came.
What do you think he would say walking down the stairs right now and seeing how you transformed his hideaway?
I think he'd say, get me some whiskey.
Tell us how we can experience this place today.
For the majority of the year, we sell this room as one giant table of 12 people. But during the summer, we open it up to really any guest who'd like to dine here Thursday through Sunday. We call it Lon's Cool Summer Dining. It's kept at about 56 degrees down here. We've got an entire round of our cool dining in the wine cellar menu here. This experience really is unlike any other. When a guest comes here, they not only have an incredible culinary journey that they're going to go on, but they also have an incredible beverage and wine journey that they're going to go on. It isn't just dining out, it's a story that we tell through cool dining.
Cheers to Lon's Wine Cellar. In Paradise Valley, Crystal Long, 12 News. For the 10th year in a row, Lon's at the Hermosa Inn received the Wine Spectator's Best of Award of Excellence. Now to a family-friendly adventure, 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk takes us along State Route 88 and introduces us to one man who flew halfway around the world just to see this special stretch.
State Route 88, also known as the Apache Trail, was built in 1904 to provide construction access to the Roosevelt Dam. Today, it's no longer the fastest route to Lake Roosevelt, but it is the most breathtaking. Just ask Roy Binder.
It's mind-blowing.
He's from the Netherlands and shipped his '64 Volkswagen Bug across the Atlantic just to experience this iconic Arizona road.
This is nothing we've got anywhere in Europe, really.
Our drive began outside Apache Junction on a windy road you definitely can't pass on. If you get stuck behind a vehicle towing a boat, be patient. They're heading to Canyon Lake a few miles ahead. The Apache Trail passes through Tortilla Flat, then begins a steep climb before the pavement gives way to dirt. It's a bumpy ride for the next 25 miles.
The first bit's all pretty well maintained and sealed until you get more towards the canyon.
This is where the drive gets a little hairy.
Hey, you don't need to be a professional driver, but you do need to pay attention. I wouldn't count on this stopping a car.
Most of the Apache Trail was closed for nearly 5 years. In 2019, the Woodbury fire consumed almost 124,000 acres of the Tonto National Forest. 3 months later, a storm dumped 6 inches of rain onto the burn scar, causing runoff that severely damaged large portions of the road, making it impassable. The Apache Trail finally reopened last fall.
So you got the landscape, and then you got just the rock formations, and like you can see behind us now, all the colors, and it's just, yeah, you just don't really know where to look.
There's a surprise around every corner. We even spotted a group of young bighorn sheep. After a white-knuckle drive down into the canyon, the sparkling waters of Apache Lake appear. The The road then follows the Salt River to the impressive Theodore Roosevelt Dam. The 45-mile trail takes about 2 hours to drive through, including plenty of stops to capture these unforgettable Arizona views.
For me, like yesterday, I saw a saguaro for the first time in my life. So that, like, a bit of side information, that was quite impressive.
For Rediscover Arizona, I'm Kyle Simchuk.
We're taking the family fun to Williams now. Canyon Coaster Adventure Park is celebrating its 3rd year and sharing plans to build new thrills on their 21-acre property. Here's 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk.
2.5 hours north of Phoenix in the Route 66 town of Williams is a year-round destination for thrill seekers and families alike.
Go big or go home is how we say it.
At Canyon Coaster Adventure Park, the main attraction puts you in control.
Takes approximately 2 minutes and 40 seconds to get to the top. By pushing your handles all the way forward, you can go anywhere from 27 to 31 miles per hour. And you can slow down to check out the scenery and take all the views that you can.
Since opening in 2022, General Manager Timmy Leppert says Canyon Coaster Adventure Park has become a popular pit stop for visitors on their way to and from the Grand Canyon.
We get a lot of people that are passing by on the interstate, but we do get a lot of foreign travelers of all countries, of all. It's kind of nice to see of all the different types of languages that come through here.
But the fun doesn't stop with the coaster. The park's tubing hill is opened year-round, too.
When the snow comes, it's great. It just brings the people out. And then we do have 2 conveyor belts, so you don't have to walk. You get to spend more doing the fun part instead of taking all that effort to hike up a hill.
Even when Mother Nature doesn't deliver, the park has a solution.
We do have a state-of-the-art snowmaking, so we've been able to be open with snowmaking because we do make our own snow. Our whole philosophy is you don't have to drive in it to play in it.
Even in the summer, visitors can still enjoy mountain tubing.
So in the summer, when the snow melts, we put down what they call an M-snow. It's a synthetic plastic and it comes in pieces. And we piece it together and we have 4 lanes. So it's the same type of concept as the snow going downhill.
Beyond the rides, Canyon Coaster Adventure Park offers an arcade, full bar, and grab-and-go restaurant. Mountain coaster rides start at $20, while summer tubing is $10 per ride or $35 for 2 hours of unlimited rides. The park is planning even more attractions.
We're looking into phase 2. We're hoping to get some stuff started. We want to begin on possibly a miniature golf, possibly a zip line.
I'm Kyle Simchuk in Williams for Rediscover Arizona.
Lace up your hiking boots. We're hitting one of Arizona's treasured trails now. 12 News journalist Troy Lynch takes us to the Superstition Mountains to explore the Wave Cave Trail.
Today, we're exploring the Superstition Wilderness because we want to see the Wave Cave. All right, what a beautiful drive. We finally made it to Kearney Springs Trailhead, but before you get in here, you actually have to buy a permit if you want to hike the Wave Cave Trail. But we have our permit, we're ready to go, so let's hike.
It's just a fun place for me to come out and take some time to just enjoy the view. If you look right through there, you'll see a couple of them right now.
Before we took off, we met Mitch, who spends lots of time in this area.
One of the favorite things that I do is I come out and I look for the bighorn sheep. So today I've got a couple of rams, some ewes, and some of the small babies that were born just a couple of months ago that I've been watching as they walk around here.
Oh, and did I mention he plays the bagpipes? Now that we're fired up, let's hike. Right away, you get views of the Superstition Wilderness that'll make you say, whoa. On this 3-mile out and back hike, you'll see lots of different cacti.
And a lot of people enjoy the trail going up to the Wave Cave, and again, it's a place where the trails are nice and easy, but they also do get a little bit confusing.
So one of the confusing parts on the Wave Cave Trail is when you get to this point right here. So you could either go right or you could go straight. Now it's not super well marked, so there's a trail sign that says you can go that way. That's wrong. You're gonna wanna go through this fence. Let's go. Important to know, there's 800 feet of elevation gain. Might not sound like a lot, but it's not a long hike, so just know it does get steep. So it's only 1.5 miles to get to the wave cave. However, the uphill really ramps up. No pun intended. A little tired, not gonna lie. But after all that incline, we made it, and it was well worth it. This cave is so big, it's got a really cool echo. Listen, watch 12 News. Crazy. Now, I wouldn't recommend bringing dogs, but we did see some small dogs that we assume are easy to carry during the harder parts. Just know on the way back down, it's almost too much downhill because it gets gnarly. So go slow and be careful. I'm hanging 10. Hope you enjoyed the Wave Cave Trail. Let us know where we should hike next so we can rediscover Arizona. For 12 News, I'm Troy Lynch.
Coming up on this Rediscover Arizona special, it's probably one of the wildest houses you'll ever see. We're going inside the one-of-a-kind property next. Also straight ahead, if you're looking for a weekend adventure, we have you covered as we continue to rediscover Arizona. Okay, picture this, a stream running through your living room, bedrock in your bathroom, and snakes as occasional house guests? A one-of-a-kind property near Wilcox has the internet losing its mind. 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk drove 3 hours to see it for himself and takes us inside what might be the most unusual home in Arizona.
Forget curb appeal, this house has cliff appeal. Welcome to Sidewinder Ranch, a home as unique as it is mysterious.
We don't know who built this or why it was built or when it was built, or the little cabin up on the hill there that's got stuff from the 1920s in it. I don't know, it's just kind of a mystery.
Clay Greathouse, yes, that's his real name, is the listing agent and owner of Arizona Desert Rat Realty. He took us up along the long, primitive driveway and gave us an exclusive look inside the bizarre desert dwelling that's going viral after being featured on Zillow Gone Wild. It's part home, part geology exhibit. Bedrock spills into every room, and yes, that's a stream trickling through the house.
I think sometimes during a big monsoon dump, the water features a little more real.
Whoever designed this place had a deep love for rocks, and maybe a lot of free time.
Had to have been some, I want to say, a hippy-dippy guy. He's got a lot of time on his hands and was in the right mindset.
It's not just the house that stands out, so does the view. The property comes with 40 acres surrounded by state land that makes it feel more like 400. No neighbors, no traffic, just you, the mountains, and occasionally a snake.
If I was a snake, I'd try to get in that house, right?
Despite the remote location, Sidewinder Ranch is grid-tied with power courtesy of a nearby cell tower. It also has a private well and septic system. But the home needs some work. The current owner spent years hauling out trash and hauling in a vision, turning what was once a forgotten tax property into a livable work of art. Now he's ready to pass the torch to the next desert dreamer.
A motorcycle guy, he does all kinds of crazy stuff, so he just wants to start his next venture.
For a full cash offer of $225,000, you get the house, 40 acres of land, and the owner is even throwing in this John Deere track loader. We're outside of Wilcox. Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
And if you were thinking about making this wild house your own, sorry, but it's already been scooped up and it's off the market now. Down for another hiking adventure? We're heading to South Mountain on the only trail that takes you through the entire preserve. 12 News journalist Troy Lynch shows us the way.
Hidden Valley Trail, a 4.5-mile moderate hike that looks like a big lasso on a map. However, when hiking, you'll see these posts that say National Trail. It's a little confusing, but you're on the right track. Keep following them. Now, the National Trail is one of South Mountain's first trails, and it's the only trail that traverses through the entire length of the preserve. A hike so fun, I brought my family. It's also great for dogs, but there's not a lot of shade, so bring plenty of water for you and your pet. Wait, do you guys hear that? Oh yeah, this trail is Mountain Biker Central, so if you're hiking, be ready to step to the side and let them fly by. So we're looking for something that's called Fat Man's Pass. Now, after going a little over a mile, you'll find it. Let's see if we make it through. Just know it's a tight squeeze, so suck in the gut and give it a go.
It's triggering my claustrophobia.
So we just got done doing Fat Man's Pass. Luckily, I made it through. But that was just one of the two really cool popular hiking destinations, a part of Hidden Valley. The second one being the only natural tunnel in the preserve. On our way to find the tunnel, there were a few other areas that we had to squeeze through. So there's another little slot canyon that we didn't even know about. And the easiest way to kind of go through is not over here. You're gonna wanna come right through here where you're gonna have a little bit more room and then come off to the side. And then it's a pretty easy way to get down because that's a little steep. To get to the tunnel, be careful when you get here. You might have to slide down a rock or take it slow to get down, but it's so worth it. Just look how big and cool this tunnel is. Getting to the natural tunnel was mainly downhill, so on the way back up, yeah, you can expect about 500 feet of elevation gain. With some breaks, this hike took us about 3 hours to complete. Highly recommend it, but not when it's over 90 degrees. That's too hot. But let us know where we should hike next on Rediscover Arizona. I'm Troy Lynch for 12 News.
Now we're getting a rare look at what it takes to protect Arizona's bald eagle population. Our cameras were there as biologists with Arizona Game and Fish rappelled down a cliff high above Lake Pleasant to check on 3 young eaglets. Here's 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk.
A short boat ride across Lake Pleasant followed by a 20-minute hike on a burro trail, we reach our destination, putting mom and dad on high alert.
Oh, they're kind of mad at me right now.
In this nest on a cliff are 3 baby bald eagles, only 5 weeks old. Today, they'll leave their nest for the first time in a duffel bag.
We want to make sure they're doing well, make sure they don't have problems with parasites in the nest. It gives us a chance to remove fishing line and fishing hooks from the nest if they've come in with the fish that's been brought in.
Bald eagles don't put their nests in the easiest places, so today, a biologist with Arizona Game and Fish had to rappel down this cliff high above Lake Pleasant to collect the eaglets. The hoods over their heads keep them calm, and the booties over their claws keep everyone safe.
As you can see right now, he's all dark feathered. He'll be all dark feathered that first year. And it won't be until he's 5 years old before he has that full white head and white tail.
Biologists take measurements, weigh the eaglets, screen them for bird flu, then attach a metal band to their legs.
We're able to track these birds for the rest of their lives, gives us a lifetime of information. It's been really valuable as one of our tools for managing this population.
Bald eagles were listed as an endangered species decades ago. In the late 70s, only 11 breeding pairs were identified in Arizona.
Largely due to widespread reproductive failure from DDT. It was causing really thin eggshell fragments, and the eggs would crack, and no young were being produced.
Today, Arizona is home to nearly 100 adult breeding pairs who hatched a record 96 eaglets last breeding season.
We record everything that they do, all of their behavior in and around the nest.
Griffin Lay and Audrey Jordan are nest watchers working with Game and Fish to monitor nests like these from afar.
You can really tell the difference in the mating pair bond. These guys are more a little strictly business, you know, honey, bring the food, I'm leaving now.
Before they were safely delivered back to their nests, the eaglets posed for some photos. It'll be several more weeks until they're ready to fly.
Get out there, try and find some bald eagles, check them out.
In a respectful way.
But watch them from a distance. Watch them from a distance and appreciate them for the awesome animals that they are.
Reporting from Lake Pleasant, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
Next up, we rediscover Arizona with beautiful views from Kiwanis Trail.
12 News and 12 Plus keep you in the loop by reporting more from the rapidly growing West Valley.
We're outside Surprise City Hall.
More homes, jobs, and unexpected challenges expanding west.
In Peoria, they'll have the resources ready.
12 News, dedicated to the West Valley.
Explosive is one word for what's happening.
West Valley in the Loop on 12 News and streaming on 12 Plus. Download on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices.
We're heading back to South Mountain to rediscover Arizona with another favorite hiking spot. 12 News journalist Troy Lynch is taking us with him to Kiwanis Trail.
If you're looking for a quick, fun, scenic hike, look no further than a classic at South Mountain Preserve, Kiwanis Trail. This hike is about 3 miles out and back with just under 600 feet of elevation gain to try to get to the Telegraph Pass lookout. Before you get there, you get to experience all the beauty along the way with saguaro cacti as far as the eye can see. Now this is a great hike for everyone, friends, family, dogs, on leashes of course. We even saw people biking up, or should I say, walking their bike up. And if you're lucky, you might even run into a horse or two. So if you're newer to desert hiking, Kiwanis Trail is a great way to get you started. And how cool is this? Along the way, you'll also run into 2 rock wall dams built by the Civilian Conservation Corps back in the 1930s.
How are the views, Andrew?
Oh, they're great. Ooh, some of the best you can find in the whole state.
And at the halfway mark, you've made it to the Telegraph Pass lookout. You'll get amazing views of the Phoenix skyline, downtown Phoenix, and Sonoran Desert. We wrapped up this hike in about 2 hours, but we recommend doing this one outside of the summer months, but easily a great place to see the sunrise or set. Done. Did it. Thanks so much for hiking Kiwanis Trail with us on Rediscover Arizona. Let us know where we should hike next. But for now, I'm Troy Lynch for 12 News.
As you've just seen, there's always something to check out here in the Grand Canyon State. From the high country to southern Arizona, our state is packed with incredible places to explore. Check out more of our stories showcasing Arizona. We're always on 12news.com, the free 12 News app, and on our streaming channel 12 Plus. And if you don't already have 12 Plus on your TV, we invite you to download it now on your Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV devices. That way you can watch any of these stories plus so much more on demand. Thank you so much for joining us for this Rediscover Arizona special.